stars of this Chinese team.
And of course, you're looking at the images of the opening ceremony and the lineup announcements. But this is where we're going to kind of share with you some of the schedule and results so far. And like you said, we are in Sydney, Australia. Top 12 teams in the world here fighting for that final gold trophy at the end of day number 10. You know what you get with that, Andrew?
What's that?
An automatic bid to the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Yeah. And the United States have dominated, and they are the favourites by far in this tournament as well. But just with the transition they're going through, and even what we saw in the game against Belgium, easy one against Puerto Rico, but in the game against Belgium, you do see that sign that this team is a work in progress. There are stages at games, they look a little bit disjointed, still trying to figure out their roles, and that's only going to get tougher now that you've got 3 impact players coming into the roster.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Plum, Gray, Wilson. Plum and Gray came in yesterday morning just before that matchup against Puerto Rico. In fact, Coach Cheryl Reeves said, I tried to get them on the bus with us, but they were just not ready. They needed some rest after that long flight. And meanwhile, Asia Wilson got in late last night, and everyone suited up to play today.
Well, that's right, and it's important. Get everyone acclimatized, get everyone used to the competition. It's tough for those 3 ladies because they're going up with, like I said, what I believe is going to be their biggest challenge.
And when you go head-to-head with USA and China, USA has won their last 6 games, and the margin was 24 points.
But that is history, and there are some new faces that in this USA team, and international basketball is a lot different. And I know a lot of these girls played throughout, in fact, all of them played throughout the junior ranks international competition. But on this big stage and in front of a huge crowd, a sellout crowd here today, it's just a little bit different to your run-of-the-mill game that you do week in, week out.
And this is the slate, of course, for today's action. USA and China, and then we see Korea, Bosnia, and the final game of the evening, Puerto Rico and Belgium. So Andrew Gaze and myself will be back for the evening nightcap. Meanwhile, this is where the standings look like right now for Group A. We told you the 2 undefeateds in this group, China, USA. Andrew, you're calling this is a warm-up or a preview.
Preview, perhaps. Yeah, and it's a lot to happen, a lot of games to be played, but you're talking about 2 teams that have gone through their first 2 games pretty easy. And we've got the 2 leading scoring teams in the competition as well. China averaging a very healthy 102 points a game, and the United States at 96.
And the national anthem of the United States of America.
That was the flag and anthem presentation. Now we'll see the two teams meet at mid-court to exchange their gifts to one another. A rich tradition here in FIBA basketball and international play. And it's just great to see again Andrew after it had been gone for so long due to COVID. And lots of hugs. These women know each other. They played on this circuit for so long.
Well, that's right. And we've got a couple of the Chinese girls that play in the WNBA as well. And that's Yuri Lee and Xu Han. Xu Han with the Liberty. Yuri Lee playing with Chicago. And all the girls on the USA team feature in the WNBA as well. And there would be great respect, I think, for China and this team, and they would have seen what they've done, not just at this tournament, but over the years, that highly competitive and well drilled. One of their execution in the half court, outstanding. Take a look at the starters.
Yeah, for China, they're going to stick with some consistency. Wang Yang, Li, Pan, and Yuru Li, number 14, that jewel of the offense. They're led by head coach Wei Zheng there on your screen. And keep your eyes on number 15, Xu Han will come in and alternate for Yuru Lee. Those are those twin towers we talked about. And on the other side of the court, Team USA, we've got Lloyd. She's been the starter through 3 games. Chelsea Gray, welcome to the party, straight off the plane, and she's in the starting lineup. And of course, the captain Stewart, Kalia Copper with her defensive effort yesterday. She's back in the lineup, and Alyssa Thomas, who is just a hound.
Well, that's right, and they have tremendous depth. Incredibly athletic, and I think Team USA, they're going to, there's Cheryl Reed. She's also been a part of the program a long time, an assistant coach, and has got a couple of gold medals from the Olympic Games and the World Championships as well. But this USA team, it's going to be about the defense. They are going to get up and in and just try and bully China, and that's been their calling card for quite some time. They really exploit their athleticism.
We got to point out that this is probably the first matchup where USA will square up with a team that is their same height. How does that change the adjustments going into the game like this?
They're same height, but there's a difference between height and athleticism as well. And they're going to focus on Yuru Lee, who's been averaging 11 points a game, and Xu Han, of course, at 15. But she's also, Xu Han has been a beast on the boards, also averaging 11 a game. So she's at a double-double, and it's what they do is picking up and forcing China out of their sets. China very regimented the way they go about it, and that's going to be the goal of the USA.
Yeah, USA at full strength. We're just reintroducing the crew that flew in as of late. This is Chelsea Gray. Moments ago, Kelsey Plum. Gray just sliced right back into the starting lineup with this unit. Chelsea Gray, of course, also a part of that 3x3 Olympic gold team. And you're looking at the final of the trio, Asia Wilson. Again, these 3 women flew in the last 36 hours, coming off a WNBA championship, making that transition. Andrew, not to mention the time change. It's
That's right.
plus 14 hours
it
here.
Is. I dare say that they were at the pointy end of the plane, so they probably had a little bit of a chance to just get a bit of a rest on the way over. But still, you're dead right. Your body clock is different, and a lot of these girls have international experience at a variety of different levels, and there is one of the superstars of the competition, Yuru Lee.
She's always got a big smile on her face. And then her counterpart, slightly younger, is Xu Han, 22 years old. These two are staples in the WNBA and have been advocates to getting their basketball to the best and the top level in the world. And so that's why we saw them hug at midcourt.
Yeah. And it should not be underestimated too, the depth of China, because as I mentioned, they got 6 girls already that are averaging in double figures. So they spread it around, everyone gets involved now. Admittedly, they've had a couple of easy outings against Korea in a thrashing earlier on in Bosnia-Herzegovina. They really took care of them, 98-51.
And we're getting ready for jump ball. Nearly a sellout crowd at this point, 9,200 in attendance. And just based off that roar during the national anthems, I think USA is in the house.
Yes. Well, strong Chinese community in Sydney, and a lot of them have come out to support their team as well.
Stewart, first shot is in! The captain with 3. Huang picks it up, gets the cutter. Lee, no, misses. Stewart there. Stewart pull up Jay on the soft end there.
Well, that's it. I like whether they've gone to Stewart early, and that's to try and take advantage of Lee, test her lateral movement. I think Stewart putting the ball, sure, she had to catch and shoot that first possession for the 3-ball, but her putting it on the floor, that Lee's going to need some help.
Nice hands. Listen, look at number 12. Get to know where she is. Alyssa Thomas, the stills leader here throughout the tournament. Had 6 yesterday against Puerto Rico. Yang, 8 seconds to shoot. It's short.
That's well short too. It looked like a nervous shot that time.
3 games in 3 days for these teams you're looking at. Group B took a break today. Lloyd takes right, hands it off to Gray. First shot of the tournament. In, baby, in!
And not a lot. They need a lot of action. Little dribble handoff, get some separation, and they're prepared to take the early 3.
Nice cut, finish, no, won't go down for Meng Lee. The feed to Lloyd, getting a look she likes, and USA with 3 monster shots to open up this contest. Quick timeout for China.
Well, that's right. Great start by Team USA, all from the 3-point line, a perfect 3 of 3 from the 3-point line, and I like the timeout. A lot of momentum being generated.
All right, so the Sydney Superdome is on fire. I'm talking about Team USA up early, 9-0, Andrew. All of it coming from behind the line.
Well, that's right, and they've come out full of confidence, and it's not like it was terrible defense by China. Just perhaps need to close out a little harder on those 3 balls, try and make them put it to the deck.
The crowd working as a 6th player here. Yang being guarded tightly by Copper. Stewart picks her up. No, the feed to Lee, turn, shoots. No, there's a cap on the basket for China. He skips over to Copper, corner waiting, misses. China in transition. Lee goes right, takes it herself. No!
Well, they've got really good looks. Yeah, a little contested, but at this level, you're expecting them to make those plays around the rim. Just like that one down the other end, and we see
Copper to Thomas.
Thomas just been able to get a relatively easy one.
Lee going at Stewart. Wins out this time. Yubu Lee is on the board, and so is China. Movement was going to be a big key for Team USA today. And adding that defensive pressure, Copper, that's why she's getting to play, because she's showing us both these first 2 games. Wrong.
Tough.
Kiss off the glass.
Really good play. Attacking the rim. Get some easy baskets in transition. Sometimes they can settle too much into their structure, and sometimes you need to free will it a little bit and pick up some cheaper baskets in transition.
Mid-range off there for Gray left alone, taking baseline. Lee, she'll shoot 2.
But China made the change, and they put Juan on Stewart. And we saw earlier on with Lee trying to guard her and keep her in front. It was a little tough. We're going to be a little tough. So they make that change and really made, after that timeout, it's been a good little run here by China. And it's pushing the tempo and getting up and down the floor. Now, it's a tricky game you play because you don't want to make it a track meet against Team USA because they're so good at getting up and down the floor. So really trying to find that balance between using the clock and controlling the tempo with your offense becomes a juggling act for China.
A 6-2 run for China out of that timeout, Andrew. Stewart. Feed baseline, intended for Copper. You know, this USA team is very, very unselfish. In fact, they have been tracking and making a concerted effort to be able to be on the assisting end of nearly every made field goal. Up to her old antics, Thomas, steal and lay-in.
And that's really going to be the kryptonite for China. They cannot afford those types of indefensible turnovers.
And she loves being on a defensive-minded team like this. Look at how hungry she is on the top of this zone. Lee at Stewart, knocked away. Hands on it, Gray.
And Lee looks good down there. Stewart just playing behind the last couple of possessions, and when Lee can get it in low, there's that turnover. And you're going to have some turnovers, but those ones there, that's really an unforced one in the sense that that pass was never on.
Lee flashes.
Oh dear, and that one. And that's really the MO of all teams, of course, is trying to get out there and put some pressure on the ball, get in the lanes, create some turnovers. And USA, with their depth and athleticism, they're the best in the world at it. And the last couple of possessions, it's been a little sloppy for China. Sitting in a 2-3 zone now.
Skip past Copper. Corner, taking Thomas, kicks it out. Oh, look past. This team really loves moving the ball. Oh, off the fingertips of Lloyd. A rare turnover for Team USA. And we have some subs coming in.
It is, and I like the change-up. Have a look at the 2-3. And that's sometimes you got to have some courage. When you've seen the team, the first 3 shots all go in from the 3-point line, you think of sitting in a zone and maybe it's going to expose that area. But that time there, they had some good chase, some good closeout, and helped pack it in and deal with the penetration and the cutting of the USA.
Welcome Kelsey Plum, and Ariel Atkins to the floor for Team USA. Lee dribbling through traffic, kicks it, open look by Wong. Yes! China's first 3 is in.
She shoots it well. First 2 games, 33%, but she's come out in this one, knocked down a couple from the perimeter.
And here's that substitution we talked about. Yuru Lee takes a seat and Chu Han will step on.
Chu Han is averaging 15.5 points and 11 rebounds in only 19 minutes of play. Now, they have been lopsided games, but that's highly productive from the big girl.
Asia Wilson also on the floor here for Team USA. So everyone who flew in yesterday, a part of that Las Vegas Aces WNBA championship team, has been on the floor. Turn and shoot. Easy one for Chu Han. She comes in and she delivers. 2-point ball game. China started down 11-0. Asia Wilson, another miss.
Oh.
Bang, shake and bake.
Oh.
Stewart, the cleanup. Man. Caught Atkins on her heels. Plum baseline. Knocked out, it stays.
We haven't seen it a lot, but even when you're going to play a zone defense, you might even consider to play the two big girls together. And you are a little exposed with your lateral movement, but gee, down the other end of the floor, the way those girls can finish it around the basket might be an option they could look at some stage.
Atkins steps out of bounds. 2 turnovers for Team USA here in the first 6 minutes. Team USA, by the way, going for their 4th World Cup title in a row. They've got 10. That's more than any other nation in the world. If you're just joining us, I'm Despina Barton. My partner tonight, Andrew Gaze, the Australian legend, FIBA Hall of Famer.
China have had some good looks. Now, I know they're, like I said, they're contested, but they're getting to the rim. They feel good about the way in which they can create some shots off the dribble, even though they haven't connected on them.
Tong Tong Wu picks up her dribble, left alone. She'll shoot it. It's short.
Neither team really lighting it up in this quarter, 33% for China.
Wong pushing, driving right at Thomas. And a foul. Looked like it's going to be whistled here.
I think so. Didn't quite get there. And speaking of that, there it is. Gee, I think Thomas has got every right to complain on that one. Didn't look like a whole lot in it. In fact, I thought she did a really good job to get her feet in front and just grab the ball. After a pretty hot start, USA, they've really cooled. 5 of 14, 36% from the field. 3 of 5 from the three-point line. So their work from the three-point line that's really stood out in that first 3 or 4 minutes.
Deep breath here for Sa Yu Wong. The 26-year-old guard hits both of them. Plum in, inside out to Atkins. And the intended pass was going to Stewart. That's going to be China's 2nd team foul. Excuse me, 1st team foul for China. Stewart takes the bump, pulls up on the free throw line, off to the left. Chasing it down was Wilson. Doesn't stay in play.
And the way they're packing it in and taking away those driving lanes with the mixing up at a lot of 2-3 zone principles and what they're doing, and it's really caused Team USA some problems. Disruptive, and it's hard when you haven't had a lot of preparation time and teams are throwing out some defenses that you're not always accustomed to, and most importantly, don't necessarily practice a lot against. It's a good strategy by China on the defensive end.
Plum picks up her 1st personal foul. The keys for Team USA today, obviously, hand out a lot of ball pressure. Coach Cheryl Reeve wants all the attention on defense, make sure to crash the glass, and make the easy shots. They had some stuff they wanted to clean up, but defense has been their bread and butter so far. Asia Wilson pushes forward. The trap comes. Gray there. In and out. Wong off the screen, give and go. Shot goes up to Hun. No.
I like it, wide open mid-range, but they got into the action real quick in that semi-transition, get down straight into the on-ball and not going up against an established defense every time.
Gray to Plum. Plum takes baseline. Reverse, reverse! Kelsey Plum is on the board! 10 seconds, turn and shoot, blocked away! Get out of here, Wilson! Ball still with China, no, we're pulling it down with Gray. Just over a minute to play here in the first quarter, give and go, no! A miss, a rare miss for Thomas.
It's a beautiful find by Plum before she even caught it. She knew where her teammate was, and a nice touch pass. It goes unrewarded.
Wong, high, low, block again, this time Alyssa Thomas. Gray, a little off speed. She's not moving away from the basket. Squaring up, Atkins, right on time. Her team now out in front by 5.
This tempo, I'm not sure across the entire game is going to suit China. You can see that they're really taking their time. A lot of tired girls out there at the moment. Need to consider getting some subs in.
Han, not usually where she's taking her high percentage shots from. 12 seconds, USA. Plum surveying. She's obviously got a mismatch here. We'll run right past Hun. Shot to Atkins. She wanted that, and so did Team USA. After the first 10 minutes, it's USA 18, China 13.
United States of America 18, China 13.
What's good?
So after 10 minutes of play, Andrew, tell me what stands out to you. Team USA, it's been a little bit of a tug and pull.
It certainly has, and China have had some really good looks. They just haven't been able to capitalize. 4 of 18 from the field, and they're only at 22%. And there you have a look at the stats, and that 22% is the killer. It's not like they've done a poor job on the defensive end, holding the United States to 37. And it's that two-point area that sticks out the most. And they've had some looks, and like I said, some of them are semi-contested. A few block shots that are going to perhaps quell their confidence as well. But it was Team USA. Stewart got it going early 3-ball. And the way in which that they early on, the penetrate and dish and the shots, and there's another one that's all 3 of them, they're just catch and shoot. Nothing forced to the dribble, and if you extend it too much with the switching defense that China had early, then they expose you down low. And there's Lee down low as well. She's been dominant. There's one that they did finish, and they're the types of plays that we've seen they're missing, and they're the ones they need to make, and they certainly can't afford turnovers, albeit that when you look at the turnover count, they've only had the 2, but both of them led to uncontested shots.
And China able to capitalize here. Play a little catch up. They started down 11-0. Now it's a 5-point game after the first 10 minutes. You're looking at Team USA and China, both undefeated here in Group A play. The winner, at least for USA, if they win, they seal their bid to the quarterfinal rounds.
How you feeling, basketball fans?
And we'll get set here to open up the second quarter. If you're just joining us, I'm Desmina Barton alongside Andrew Gaze, the legendary Australian basketball star. And you're watching FIBA 2022 Women's World Cup play. Beautiful take. Woo, Tong Tong, nobody getting in her way this time.
No help at all. Everyone stayed at home on the weak side, opened up that driving lanes. And when we talk about the preparation of US, well, sometimes we focus too much on the offense. You also got to get your defensive strategies down. And right there, there's a little breakdown on the help.
Plum in to recover. Second 3-pointer for Plum.
She's also had 3-on-3 experience, went to the Tokyo Olympics in the 3-on-3.
Yeah, she won gold.
So she's had a variety of international experience.
In fact, Plum and Gray played together on that 3-on-3 Olympic gold medalist team. So a lot of familiarity, no matter if they all just got here the last 30 hours.
They're just really putting the clamps on and cranked it up after that quarter time. You see that little extra pep in the step of Team USA, up and in, and just making it difficult to get them into their continuity in their sets that they like to go through.
You're looking at head coach there, Cheryl Reeve. She's been an assistant on this squad for many, many years. A part of the 2016-2020 Olympic teams, 2014-2018 World Cup teams. Lots of gold, I'm sure, in her office at home. If she ever gets to hang out there, Andrew.
Yeah.
She is a busy, busy woman. Tipped away, great hands by Pan. And we'll have a foul called against China.
And their coach as well. When you think back to their success at the World Cup in '94, she was part of that as a player on that roster. So she's now in charge, but has really good experience.
Thomas, the final touch, she gives it to Asia Wilson. Eight-point advantage for Team USA. A push from behind, and we're going to get to see Meng Lee on the free throw line.
USA fouls for 5. Kelsey Foster is second. In for China, unfortunately, the Uruguay. Also in for the USA for Lloyd. At the line for China, number 9, Li Meng. Shooting 2.
Atkins with another miss, and China. Lee with the rock. Pan, tight. Everyone's congested over here. We have someone flashing for China. A miss by Jin. She had a good look. And the foul, Lee.
China foul for Lee on her first. Second team foul. In for the USA number 11, Aaliyah Thomas.
Two quick fouls for China. USA, we're moving with Alyssa Thomas. One-on-one, kiss off the glass. No. All that work and no payoff, Andrew.
No, that's right. And man, both teams have had some opportunities they'll look back on, and plays that you'd normally expect them to make, coming up a little short.
Lloyd, one-on-one effort. No, Copper had a hand in it, secured by Lee. Li Meng nearly had her pocket pick. Shot for Wu. Lloyd says, if you're not going to stop me, I'm going to go right to the hoop. Copper with the cleanup.
They've had the ability to hang in only with really poor shooting, 24% from the field, only got the 17 points, and just feel like this next couple of minutes crucial for China.
Pan, Jen Chi with the big three. That opens things up for this China squad.
Well, it does, it's helpful, just stems the flow of the momentum a little.
Gray off the elbow, this time falling down, has a chance for a three-point play. Did you see that shimmy? A little shimmy on the way down.
Wu Tong Tong, I think it was, just trying to do a good job. She knows how dangerous Gray can be. Gets shaken out of it, a little crossover, and nice smooth action on the jump shot, and goes to the line for the extra.
So Chelsea Gray, part of that Las Vegas Aces WNBA team, makes it a 3-point play. She's a Duke alum, a part of that 3-on-3 Olympic gold. A fixture that gets a little bit of a breather here for Team USA. Li Yuan with the ball. The captain, Yang Li Wei.
Oh.
Tussled in the pick. What'd you see, Andrew?
I think it was Li Ru just going in there and trying to set the on-ball screen, and it's just a little too late. And Yang Li Wei with the ball, she's just got to let the screener come before she goes off it. Otherwise, you're going to put your screener in some trouble with those moving screens.
Great defense here by China. The foul comes in. Go against Atkins. Coach Jung Wei watching on. Big girl goes up and in, Li Yu-ru. Now she's going to work. China pulls the game within 6. It's 28-22, nearly to that midway point here in the second quarter.
It is, and down the other end, I really like Wu Tong Tong, that the penetrations that she gets and a little handoff. Sometimes it can be intimidating going in there against the more athletic girls, but that time finally the extra pass and a turnover.
2 back-to-back turnovers for Team USA. Then Lloyd swoops up on the other end, gets it back. Stewart skip pass, Atkins looks. Lloyd with the shot, wing, and another 3 for Team USA. That is gonna be their 6th of the contest. Shooting 60% from 3.
It is real patient to penetrate, again, penetrating the dish anytime you get some entry passes there. I like this timeout as well. China looking a little fatigued, and just the way in which they respond to these runs that the USA don't want to get them too much momentum and motion into the game.
So she's saying this game is their reversal. Okay, I'll do that the rest of the game.
加油加油！哎，太后一定要冲，要抓这个机会。
Another look at that Lloyd basket. Pretty 3-pointer, number 6 for Team USA. They lead by 9. It's 31-22. And a look at those stats, Andrew.
It is, and neither team, as I mentioned, is shooting the lights out. Well, certainly from the 3-point line. That's where USA has got their advantage, as you mentioned, 6 of 10, but they're only 40% overall, 12 of 30.
Look at this defense. They are smothering the ball. The pressure is on for China. Li Yu-ri's shot off.
Li Meng is one that can get it going. Of all the players on this Chinese team that has that finishing and bullocking to the basket, really control when she gets there and can use her size and athleticism. She's a beast when she can get downhill and attack that rim. USA doing a good job, keep taking that away from her.
Knocked away, good hands, Li Yu-ru. Spends her off-season technically with the Chicago Sky, the WNBA. Li Yuru is the jewel of the Chinese crown. A lot of youth to build off of. Cutter Stewart misses. Loose ball. USA recovers. Gives it right back, turn and shoot. Asia Wilson, no, short. Li Meng. Couple dribbles, lets it fly, and all the confidence in the world. Wilson losing her handle here a bit. Lloyd comes in to save it. Lloyd, she'll try it from the wing. And Li Yuan with the ball off the screen. A little miscue here. It stays with China.
It is, and just get a sense that China weathering the storm. And more of that obviously helps. But it's the way in which you create those shots, get to the ball to the right people at the right time, and it's tough against this aggressive USA defense.
Li Meng, a little quick dribble shoot. Not successful on the left. Stewart's running, gets it over to Copper, finishes on the right. No, another miss. Empty possession for USA. China fans are going nuts. Lee tracks down the ball. No, Stewart has it. Looking for some help.
Li Meng could finish that at the rim. Tried to make the extra pass. Just go up with the right hand. Kiss it off the glass.
She's so close.
The pass was harder than the shot.
Wilson, yes. Mid-range jumper goes down for Asia Wilson.
Pretty nice stroke from the lefty. Something about lefties when they shoot, their shot just looks prettier than the run-of-the-mill right-handers.
Yang Liwei, the captain for this Chinese team. 27-year-old with the ball, trying to shake Thomas. Creates a little bit of space. Checks down her own rebound. Fresh 14 seconds. Li Meng, trouble there. Copper will draw the foul. Yuan Li will get her second personal.
Such is the dominance of USA, and you look at their just amazing depth of talent that they have, that right now, despite some of the woes of China, they'll be going into, they can just hang on this last couple of minutes and keep it in that single digits, which is easier said than done, that given the way that they've shot the ball, that they'd be feeling pretty good about themselves to have a single digit deficit at the halftime. Very hard to win games of basketball when you're shooting it in the 20%, the 29% right now.
Lee gives it right back to Lee. Li Meng scanning here for something off the foot of Wilson.
A lot of times they're going through their action. They're trying to post the big girls up after a pick and roll and find it. Now, every now and again, sometimes you can outsmart yourself. Just go put the big girl on the box, bring it down and roll that ball into her and let her do her thing.
Young tip out of there. Only one speed for Alyssa Thomas, and that is down court. Gets it to Stewie. Another assist for Thomas. A push from behind, no whistle, spotted up, ready to go. Lee can't get it to go. And a whistle on the drive. That's going to be
so we got to be a little smarter at this stage of the game. Just, as I said, trying to keep it in that single digits is really, really tough, but it's even tougher when you start sending Team USA to the free throw line. Oh my, that's somewhat a little bit different technique. Brings it up, and it's left hand comes off the ball really early.
She doesn't need the left arm.
Usually you're going to try and get a little bit more support and guidance with that left hand, but she releases it really early. It's just a one-handed push.
6 points for Thomas. Under a minute to play here in the first half. It's China-USA Group A play. FIBA World Cup 2022. Both undefeated. Thomas doing everything right now for USA.
Wow.
Pushing this lead out to 17.
A minute and 20 seconds ago, they were 8 down.
Limong drawing Thomas, and will take things out a little bit to try and see a better picture. Turn spins into 3 white jerseys. Stewart's hands all over it.
Yang Li Wei was wide open on the perimeter. Just again, the wrong choice with the pass.
Copper, pick up on the weak side. Yes, Asia Wilson, final bucket of the half goes to USA. After the first 20 minutes, it's Team USA up 44, China 25. This American squad just able to create a little bit more distance here, Andrew.
Well, how quickly does it happen? A minute and 40 odd to go, and they're 8 down, and they send Team USA to the line, and in the blink of an eye, it can get away from you. And that's what happens when you got 2 problems. One is you're playing against an elite athletic team that can fill it up, and the other thing is at the other end of the floor, you can't put the ball in the basket. Only 28%, 8 of 29, puts enormous pressure on your defense when you're struggling to score. 25 points in a half is not enough when you're trying to compete against Team USA. Decent job to hold them to 44. Not bad, not terrible. You can pinpoint things that you could do better, but overall not too bad. But it's the offense that need to find a way to get that going. 12 points, 13 in the first quarter, 12 in the second. Outstanding D by Team USA.
Sydney Olympic Park is the proud host of the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup.
We're going to take a look now at those best plays of the first half. Early, we saw some glimpses from Han Shu.
Yeah. Han Shu was there, and down the other end, it seemed like that just China, when they went to that zone, it had an effect, and then they went out of it, and we never saw it again. And it's one when it's easy when you're sitting here on the sideline, you say, well, it was taking some shots away. It stemmed the flow of that early rush of threes from Team USA, and then they just lost, for whatever reason, lost confidence in it. And in a very short period of time, when there's that much firepower you're up against, Plum, she can fill it up from the perimeter, but she could also dish it off, and the hockey assist from Plum that time. And the way in which that they moved the ball for a team that hasn't spent a lot of time together, just going off those instinctive plays of read and react a lot of the times, the way in which they work the on-ball screens. It's amazing what can happen when you've got incredible talent. And Li Yuru, she's another one that can give us more. Give us more in the way in which she can create some scoring opportunities and just find a spark on the offensive end from someone. It's the way we look at it, a lot of it's going to have to come from their 2 bigs, who their 2 leading scorers so far in the tournament.
And for USA, they've won the last 6 meetings against China. They're in a good position here. What can you expect as far as adjustments goes from China here in this second half? We've only seen a handful of Team USA players even on the court too, so there's got to be some wiggle room here.
Well, that's right. And it's how I think China deals with the defensive pressure. How can they free up to get better scoring opportunities and increase their shooting percentages from 28%?
And for now, it's all smiles for Team USA. They get a breather, and so will we. It's halftime. Team USA up 44, China 25.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Imagine Jackson, eye on the block, ball stays high, good finish, Togo.
Well, they've done that well. All the bigs, we saw it with George earlier on, all the bigs, that high-low pass.
Nice, and what a play! Beautiful pass, and she finishes in contact.
Copper, little mixed speed use, finish in the lane.
She is a delight to watch today. She is just doing it at both ends, but just her athleticism and her quickness.
Anderson, nowhere to go, picked up her dribble, but who's there? Your favorite player, Tina Kraishnik, the captain.
Oh, the block from behind.
She did
Shakira
not.
Austin.
And then running the floor and ending with a nice fast break layup, Benija Laney.
The beloved Laney here in front of a quasi-home. Then Abdelkader with the rock. Behind the back pass, Van Loof, she hits this. It's going to the highlight reel.
Beautiful transition option, and Belgium prepared to take the early three, and why wouldn't you? Oh dear.
Tong Tong, nice pass to Li Meng, and that's a quick conversion, and now they are up double digits, 11 points. And Williams just goes hard to the basket, and that's gonna count, folks. So a three-point play opportunity for Gabby Williams.
And that's really nice. Tish goes through the legs, razzle dazzle on the floor, takes the hit, and she says, yep, referee, count that thing.
Oh, nice.
And one, and she's on the board. She heard you talking up here, Andrew.
That's right.
She's not just a distributor and a point guard.
Well, that's right. She showed a little shake and bake there, and a little inside-outside move, and got the defense biting on it.
Tabbage, deep shot is good, folks. Goodness me, I thought, why did she shoot that 3.5 seconds? She knows why.
Why? Because it's going in. You better guard her. That keeps Bosnia-Herzegovina right where they need to be. Look at this. Sets her feet, puts it up with lots of time, and she says, yes to the gods.
Welcome back inside the Sydney Superdome. You're looking at some of the halftime entertainment here. We are in between Team USA and China. It is the, of course, Group A, day number 3. If USA holds on to this lead, they will automatically qualify for that quarterfinal round. And we're going to show you some of the best of the best. This is for China. This is Su Yu Wang leading the way with 7 points.
Yep, and they've been hard to come by, real hard to come by. And there's a player that I think can give us a lot more. Li Meng, the way in which she can penetrate, she's made some poor decisions when she's gotten in there. A couple of times, tried to make that little drop-off pass in traffic instead, and it's had a few turnovers that time there. Again, the hockey assist with the extra one, and that's what you've got to do to get this team off balance in the way in which that they can swing the ball and move the ball. It's you know, they're very regimented in the way they go about it, and it's down this end of the floor where they've also, I don't think they've been terrible. They haven't been great, but they haven't been terrible. They look fatigued a few times.
And for Team USA, I mean, Alyssa Thomas is the opposite of fatigue and tired. She is the Energizer Bunny, doing it on offense, but certainly on defense too. She's finding a way to be active in each role today.
Yeah, she is, and just an incredible talent and the depth of talent that they've got. And here's a team that they've had, that, as we mentioned right from the start, that despite having three of their players, I should say, only come into the tournament in the last day, and yet that they look still so athletic, so mobile, play well with each other. And the thing that you like about it, it's, as you mentioned, it's an unselfish team, and you said it in your conversations with the coaching staff that you had, that their goal is to really focus on the assists and how they're creating their scoring. And so far we've seen that on show here this afternoon.
Yeah, that's certainly been a point of emphasis. And we've got some superstars in the house for this contest. You recognize her?
Well, only the greatest ever Australian basketball player that we've ever seen. And it's the great Lauren Jackson.
She was playing on this court late last night. And
she had an impact. The team was struggling from the start. And you know, you look at the scoreboard and you think, hang on, they've won by, what was it, 50 or 60 or against Mali. But down 10-2 and looked real shaky. And she came on and had a presence, really attacked the rim and had 8 free throws in the limited time that she played, and really turned the game. In those 8 or 9 minutes that Lauren Jackson played, she's plus 17 on the floor.
Yeah, it was game-changing.
Yeah. And
next to her, I know if we can get the camera back over there, Sammy Wakeham, too, with her child. It's a family affair here in Sydney, Australia. Obviously, we are in their host nation, but it's a 2-week camp period. There we go. Sammy with her son. I mean, that makes this a whole lot sweeter, right?
My word, it does. And to have the opportunity to share it with friends and family, when a lot harder for these international teams to come down under. It's, as you mentioned right from the top with these Team USA girls, a long flight, and time changes. It makes it real difficult. But for Australia, we don't get this high-level competition all that often. And it's great that the fans get to see it and hopefully inspire some of the youngsters in the audience. And we see a generation or two, someone out there in the audience is watching this, and one day they'll be running around in a green and gold jersey, or a red, white, and blue.
Or red, white, and blue.
That's right.
There you saw Thomas there leading in scoring and rebounding. Copper dishing out the assists. And China now making their way out onto the court, trying to stay warm. They've got their towels over their shoulders. They're going to want to warm up pretty darn quickly. They have got some room to make up. 19 points is the differential. And how do they begin to chip away at that? I know it doesn't all happen at once, Andrew.
It doesn't, and that can be the big problem. There we see Brianna Stewart with the 5 points and the 5 rebounds. She does it all. But China, you got to have a mindset of not trying to get this back in a hurry. You come out here and get nervous, and the anxiety levels to get this lead back to a manageable distance, that can be a formula for disaster. So it's good that they just got to be patient and chip away at it rather than being in a rush and trying to deal with their the defense that Team USA, their pressure releases. They would have those within them and within their system, and how they can utilize that to expose some back cuts to try and expose some of the overplays of Team USA.
And for China, I mean, the first 2 games that they had, they won by an average of 50+ points.
Yeah.
And now you're in a contest like this. I mean, it's just a different mindset. To me, how do you turn it on and off?
Well, that's right. It's very difficult, and you're up against a team that's very, very powerful, that got unbelievable athleticism. And for China over their history, and then you see some of the USA fans that...
they must be Aces fans.
Well, there you go. And why wouldn't you be?
They made a long trek here, I'll tell you that. From Las Vegas to here, that's probably about 18 to 20 hours.
Yeah.
Whew. But what a place. What a beautiful backdrop. Sydney, Australia. We're in Olympic Park, where you were actually a flag bearer back in 2020, or excuse me, 2000 for those Olympic Games.
All right, everybody, let's take a look at the scoring update. Game leaders in points. Alyssa Thomas with 8. Lee Mom doing all for 7. Walks 2. 7 as well. Brianna scored 6. And Aisha Wilson 12 rebounds together. And Lee Euro for his half. Thomas getting ready for her half. 4. Okay, she got half that in the first half. Brianna Stewart, a couple more Asians, Chelsea Gray going in 1.
Welcome back inside the Sydney Superdome. We are getting set to open up the 3rd quarter. China finds themselves down by 19 against the #1 team in the world. That's Team USA. They are at full strength. Got their final 3 players in from Las Vegas, all a part of the Aces WNBA championship team. And we're getting ready to keep this action going. Now, Team USA, if a victory today would go ahead and seal their bid to the quarterfinals. China, for them to do that, they'd need this victory and also a loss to come at the hands of Bosnia. And what a way, a statement to open up with, Andrew.
It's a huge one, and you're right. And I think with this Chinese team, how they deal with those pressure releases, with what they're doing with their offensive sets to try and get that scoreboard ticking over, but also the mentality as Stewart goes in, very nice finish. But the mentality of China as well, talking to Michelle Timms, who was, in fact, a coach with China many years ago, she's saying the way in which that they deal with big games, their history of dealing with big games mentally, and how in which they deal with that is a big question, and that's going to be tested in this second half.
Copper hand in the passing lane.
And there's a good penetrating kick out. And Li Mong, as I mentioned, she's the one that really can get it going in a variety of different ways. Really versatile, put it to the floor, finishing around the rim, but as you can see, can also knock down the 3 ball.
Yang Li Wei, hook on the left. That would have been a beauty. Kalia Copper brings the rock up for Team USA. Andrew Gaze, Despina Barton, and that's a little off-speed cut. Beautiful take there from Copper.
Yeah, put Xu Han in the difficult situations on those on-ball screens. She's got to come up and either try and stop the ball, but she sort of was in no man's land, and that's really going to cause some problems. China done a decent job of just being patient in that first half, and sometimes you can be a little too patient and you want to get into your sets, but already that's their 11th turnover of the game, and USA only have the 5.
Stewart back out to Gray, waiting for the cutter. Copper, a mishandle at the top of the key. 3 seconds to shoot. She does get it up, hits back rim. China's moving.
Nice.
Inside turn, shoot. No good for Han Chu. And Copper a little out of control there?
Yeah, it was, and just left her feet. Han Chu down low. She had the size advantage and looked like she rushed that a little, just fading away from the basket with her size. Just a little power dribble and take it up and kiss it off the glass. That's the type of pressure that Team USA can put on that really force them into some difficult shooting situations.
Pan looks for a teammate. Wong off the screen from Chu.
Nice.
Open look. Stewart couldn't touch that. Gray working the screen. Stewart rolling. Thomas, right hook. The sling is in. Thomas now in double digits, 10 points for Team USA. Backdoor screen, reverse, it's good. Look at that, Lee Meng again.
Well, that's right, Lee Meng made that last three, so they go over the top of the screen and no help coming from the screener, the easy two. Great high-low pass.
Lead cut here to 18. Gray on the curl, it's a miss. Excuse me, that was Lloyd.
That little shimmy, that time by Wang Tzu-Yu.
Look at Thomas smothering on defense. Pan trying to cover. Rolling, no whistle. And it will be called a jump ball.
Which really doesn't mean a jump ball. It means the alternating possession. And one of my great wishes before the time I leave this planet is that FIBA reintroduces the jump ball, please. Alternating possession, my goodness. Great for junior basketball. I don't like it at this level.
I think you can build a campaign around that, Andrew.
I don't know.
We can make some shirts, bring back the jump ball. Hashtag FIBA WWC.
Good friends at FIBA might fire me after I've said that, but anyway.
Hey, we can take a players poll too. Ah, Gray gets stripped. Wang Sung-yu.
Great pass.
No look inside, finish, the big one, Han Chu.
How's the athleticism of Han Chu? Ran the floor and got the reward.
Gray feeds, Copper, finish, no. These shots were going down yesterday and day one against Belgium. Pull-up jumper, a miss. Gray pass Yang. Inside look, Thomas knocked away. Chu all over it. And a foul will go against Thomas, number 12 for Team USA. Her second personal, the first for the Americans in the third quarter.
There it is, and again, good penetrations. Here we see down the other end of the floor, the defense, the good hands by Wang Tzu-Yu, and then perfectly well read. And the streaking Han Chu gets the reward from the nice assist from Wang Tzu-Yu.
Ilana gets knocked away.
That's just great D. Good ball pressure. Not conceding, good hands, good deflection on the pass. Comes up with the turnover. Another turnover.
Stewart sending Wilson through. Lloyd picks up. Curl off the elbow. And USA on a bit of a cold streak here, as far as scoring goes.
Give it to her.
On from deep. And who has a hand in it? Great recovery, Delana. Turns, spins, takes it herself. Oh.
Delana there missed the high-low pass and only got away with a little hook on the offensive end there as she put the ball to the floor. But great hustle to give her team a second go at it.
Lefty Wilson won't go. Lee Mong in trouble. Give it to the big Han Chu on cue.
How's the touch?
That one cuts the lead to 16. China outscoring USA this quarter so far.
Well, it's a little rally here for China in this third quarter. They've outscored Team USA 11-6, and they've done it from some good work on the defensive end. The way in which a little bit more ball pressure, trying to push Team USA out of their sets, and down the other end of the floor, the ball's starting to move. And you know, sometimes it's just a matter of putting the ball in the hole. The shooting percentage has been really poor, but in this quarter, they've come out really strong and knocked down a few shots that they were missing in the first half.
So if you're coach Cheryl Reeve here, you're taking this little timeout, this breather, to do what?
Well, I think it's just a settling timeout. You still got a nice little margin, still 14 points up, so just reevaluating what you need to do on the defensive end.
USA still out in front, 14 though at this point. And we're just over the midway point of the third quarter. If you're just joining us, I'm Despina Barton. Andrew Gaze, my partner in crime, and certainly all the talent here in the booth. You're looking at number 7 China and number 1 USA here in the 2022 FIBA Women's World Cup. We are in group play. Top team in this group will automatically qualify. So a lot on the line here as far as the advancement of this tournament goes. Plum back on the floor for Team USA. She takes it right at Han. And Han's gonna get her first personal foul of the contest.
Oh, she's got it twice there.
And just for some perspective here, Han stands at 6'9". That's 205 centimeters.
That's about right.
And then Andrew, Plum is 5'8". So you got almost the tallest and the shortest on the court right now, going toe-to-toe.
Well, that's right. And she took it straight at him. When you're going up against a bigger target, you got to really try to get into the body of the bigs, because that length, it's going to be hard to get that shot off. You've got to try and create some separation between your body and your arms and be able to get it up on the rim.
Wang Su-yu looking. Lee Mong takes the shot.
Nice.
What a beauty. China fans are on their feet. Flags are flying. They've got a lot of momentum here in this third quarter. Asia Wilson posting up on the block. And a foul away from the away from the ball. A push.
Just Lee Mong a little too aggressive, trying to deal with Stewart on that switch down the other end of the floor. Coming off the little on-ball screen. If there's no help, she's good enough. And not only she can hit the mid-range, she can get to the rim. We've seen already this afternoon, she knocked down a 3-ball as well. So she's one of the more versatile for the Chinese team.
Plum will take it. Oh, feed was to Wilson. Somehow Wilson finds a way to get a hold of the ball, gets her on the rebound weak side, and will find herself on the free throw line, Andrew.
Yeah, been not just this game, but throughout this tournament, been really physical. The way in which that they've called the games, a lot of contact off the ball. It's really hard to get a lot of freedom of movement. Every now and again, we saw that last one when Lee Mong is trying to hold Stewart. Calling those unless it's blatantly obvious, and now we see Wilson go to the line. It's a nice looking stroke as well.
She's got 7 points and 6 rebounds today and just came off a goodness, maybe 14 hours ago?
Yeah, that's tough. But, you know, big crowd, the momentum, the occasion, pulling on a red, white, and blue jersey, that's got to be a lot of motivation and can overcome just a hint of jet lag or a little lack of sleep.
If you say so, you're the pro.
Well, we're used to it.
7-time NBL MVP. I think you got an NBA championship in the mix. 5 Olympic appearances, Andrew.
I was there. I wouldn't say I really contributed all that much, but nevertheless, a great honor to be there.
He's in the Hall of Fame, friends, if you're just joining us. Andrew Gaze, Despina Barton. This is USA, China. Plum. That pass thrown away.
We saw down the other end that last time, Ru Young just getting called for the offensive foul, number 10. And that's what happens when there's so much contact. You feel like you got to push off, and she just pushed off a little too much and got called for the offensive foul.
Beautiful look and finish. Han there to siege Young Ru.
Great pass and simple action, simple flex cut, no help coming from the screen, and an easy 2. Gee, a lot of contact.
Wilson drive, pulls up, lefty is in. Starting to find a rhythm for Asia Wilson.
I don't mind it. If the way we're seeing it, the officials are letting these girls play.
Han? Her ability to see the court's been impressive here. What a lay-in, no, it's a miss. Plum the other way. Lloyd punches it up. Under 2 minutes to play in the third. 16-point advantage to the Americans. Wong trying to make that difference.
Oh my.
No whistle as Wong is still on the floor. And Atkins with her. Atkins, the trailer. And we're keeping this moving as bodies continue to hit the hardwood. Han? Free throw line is good.
Well, this is letting them play to the extreme.
FIBA basketball.
Love it.
Stewart on the curl. We have a whistle away from the ball.
I'm not sure. It's going to be on the. There's that little flex cut we saw earlier, and it's going to be called for a blocking foul on the screen by Wilson. She tried to set that off-ball screen, and they've adjudicated that she was moving. Now, given all the contact we've been seeing, it's one that
you might be surprised. It sounds.
Call that a lot, based on some of the contact that we've seen so far.
Big shot here, Wang Su-yu! She came off the bench in Tokyo, came off the bench here and is playing big. Plum in the lane, no dishes. Outside look for Laney. China with the rock. Wang calling the offense here. Wu Tong Tong, shoulder down. Driving lane on the right, on the left, another one for Wang. China pulls this game back within single digits. Plum trying to space it back out. Unsuccessful. What a run for China. They go ahead and score 22 here in the third.
Basketball World Cup 2022. USA 56, China 47.
What a quarter for China. They cut the lead to 9, outscore the Americans by 10. Andrew, can they keep this up?
Wow, it's been an outstanding quarter for them. We take a look at the field goal percentages, and they just started to drop off for Team USA. And what we were talking about in that first half, where China in the 20s, Well, with the way they shot it in that quarter alone, they're already back up to 50%. They're up to 39%, so they've really been able to pick things up on the offensive end simply by just putting the ball in the hole. Sometimes it's the old adage of operation successful, patient dies. You do everything right, but you just don't put the ball in the hole. In that quarter, it was reversed, and I think that the biggest thing we saw as well is down the other end of the floor. The whole Team USA to only 12 points in the quarter. Outstanding defensive effort. The cuts, become more open as this game's rolled on. Perhaps a little fatigue kicking in for the USA team. And China just sticking with it. Full credit to them, the way in which that they were able to find a way to turn this game around in this third quarter.
It's a 9-point ball game. USA leading at the half by 19. The closing of the gap from Team China. And they're doing it in style. Team USA again, this China squad, the only two undefeated in Group A play. And the fans are really loving this. It's heating up here inside the Sydney Superdome. Final 10 minutes to play. Andrew, what can you expect the Americans to do as far as adjustments coming out of that?
Well, I think it's about the defense. See if they can crank it up on the defense, run them out, put some pressure on.
Andrew, you were talking about the pressure that Team USA is going to have to come out with.
It is that ball pressure, try and turn it around. They gave up 22 points and only had 12 themselves in that third period.
Wu Tongtong looking for Han. Tongtong here, off the mark, and we're rolling with Team USA. No look pass into Asia Wilson. Yes, a beautiful throw in from Chelsea Gray from midcourt.
That is just recognize your teammates, rewarding you the bigs for running, and beautiful pass just to thread that needle.
Delana gets stripped. Who's on the other end? It's Thomas. Another steal for Alyssa Thomas.
Delana hasn't played much in the first two games in blowouts, and coach is showing a lot of faith in her. She's only been averaging the 4 or so minutes. In fact, 4.5 minutes a game in the first two, and it's crucial time came on, and I think it's more from on the defensive end that they're trying to see if that she can help them out. She's very aggressive on the glass, but a little surprised to see her getting this much time in such a crucial part of the game. And there's a miss by
Kelsey
Plum. First miss of the game by either team. 9 of 10 now for Team USA, a perfect 6 of 6. Not a lot of free throws being shot in the game.
We told you guys that it was a near sellout, and we were correct. Just over 9,400 are here inside the stadium today to catch USA and China. And what a show so far. Big rebound. Zhang Ru keeps things alive. Delana again, this is like picking candy out of a kid's pocket for Thomas. In trouble. Great defensive possession for USA.
They missed Han Chu again. She down low, good duck in power move, and they just did not throw it in there. And when you got the big down there that close to the rim, I know they're guarded, but she can catch it with that size advantage. Throw it in there. If the defense collapses, rely on her to kick it out, but she needs to get more touches.
Gray, pull up 10-footer in your face. Nothing but net.
And Han Shu, you can tell with her lateral movement, she's just trying to use her length, but when Gray's coming off, got to be a little tighter.
Liu Ru in the block, Stewart, no way. USA on a run, Gray, another two.
Well, they flipped the switch, haven't they?
A 7 7-0 run for Team USA, forcing China to take a timeout here.
It is, and it's a good timeout to take. It's one they need. The momentum's going against them. Just everything they built up in that third quarter. It's only been a couple of minutes in this one. It's almost been undone in 2 minutes.
China's seeing the fury of Team USA, a team that is up 63-47. This USA squad has 6 that have averaged double-digit scoring here in this tournament. Reached over 100 points against Puerto Rico yesterday, 54% shooting from the field. Slightly different story here today. And they've gone to their bench quite a bit throughout the tournament.
It is, and as we mentioned at halftime, we saw China only for a few minutes early on in the game. They went to a little 2-3 zone, and we haven't seen it again. And it looked okay when they were in it. And perhaps now, when you're trying to find ways to stop, Team USA have cranked it up on the opposite end. That might be something they could consider as well. It's hard when you've got such elite shooting out here on the USA team.
And the athleticism and unselfishness. Laney, the final touch. Li Yuan, the point guard of this Chinese squad, smothered instantly by Thomas.
It's a good hard show. It's called for reaching in. Here's Sia. And this is where it gets a little confusing, because I don't dispute that that's a foul, but we've seen that quite a bit in this game already go unwhistled. That's where it gets a little confusing for the players and what you can and can't do.
7 seconds on the shot clock. Everyone collapsing there on Li Meng. Loose ball.
Love it.
Thomas covers.
Love the scramble and the desperation being showed by Team USA. They can sense that this next couple of minutes, maintain this lead, extend it a little, and it's going to be really tough. China just hanging on with their prospects in this one.
Gray off the screen, just enough room to do the work.
We've seen it in the past with some of their legends in Sue Bird, Tina Charles, and of course the great Diana Taurasi take over games, but Gray in this quarter has really stepped up.
Hun, yes, off the elbow. Laney on the cut. Kelsey in the corner. Tracked down, we're running with Li Yuan. Honshu with the screen. Give and go. Play disrupted.
Well, the idea was right. You saw just the pass and the execution was a little poor. She got really, really deep into the paint, did Li Yuan, but just see the dish out, just not there. The help was coming, and it was Thomas who was going to be there, but she looked like she might have been a little late with a better pass. Got to shoot it.
Li Meng won't get a shot up in time.
Well, that's just poor game recognition, misunderstanding of the clock. And it wasn't a short. And there's a flop warning that's been handed out to Li Meng. And I think it was more, the warning was coming when she was about to shoot it. And the hand was in there. The little bit too much histrionics with the throwing of the arms around. I think that's what the warning was for.
Thomas, head down, kiss off the glass, beautiful! What a finish on the right side for Alyssa Thomas.
Great touch and composure to finish that under all sorts of pressure.
She's got 12 points, 5 steals, and Lee, excuse me, Shu. Laney kicks to Gray. Pull up, no. Rebound, Han Shu. Streaker straight down the middle through the gut, Panjenchi. Plum, lefty draws it at the top of the key, misses. Laney, Stewart, hot potato. She'll step out of bounds. So Benijah Laney going after that loose ball. And Plum steps off. We'll see Jewel Lloyd back on the floor for Team USA. Under 5 to play in this contest. We're in group play. Day number 3. Both teams will get to rest tomorrow, but now it's all about getting a W today.
It's not just a, it is a rest day and they don't have a game, but a lot of these teams, particularly someone like Team USA, I dare say they'll still be out having a practice session because try and incorporate their girls and get them in tune with each other.
Yeah, like we talked about, Cheryl Reeves' team just came to full strength late last night. The final 3 to join the roster, Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, and Asia Wilson, all WNBA champions after that Las Vegas victory.
And that's the real big difference between these two teams, where you've got this incredibly talented team being thrown together and getting things done. But Team China, they've been together the last 5.5 months in preparation for this World Cup.
Wang Su Yu! 17 for Su Yu. Chelsea Gray, hand in her face. Li Meng, alone on the free throw line. Throw up the fist. China, get on your feet. 11 points between the two.
In the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2022, USA 69, China 58. Let's take a look at it. Scoring leaders so far. Chelsea Gray, 5 for 9, 12 points. And what about for China? Li Meng delivering. Minutes. Now, take a look at the shot chart. What about the
You guys are looking at Yao Ming, the legendary Chinese basketball player in the stands. And obviously he's a dear friend of yours, right, Andrew?
Well, I don't know, I wouldn't call us tight buddies, but I did catch up with him yesterday. We had a bit of a chat, and not willing to share too much information about his girls either. Try to pry some information out of him was a little difficult, but no, he's in great spirits, and he's happy to be here. Of course, he played in the 2000 Olympics as well. He remembered, that's what he was, remembering fondly of his time there as he started his journey.
It's not difficult to get team, executives to come and travel to Sydney, Australia, huh?
As long as they're prepared to do the long flight. And this has been, China have just shown great character. The way in which they've been able to hang in there and deal with some adversity, and most of that adversity has been with their field goal percentage and their shooting. But as this game's gotten on, they've grown in confidence. In fact, they're now shooting at a better clip than the USA. The USA at 39%, China at 41%. And right now, just making a bit of a charge.
Li Meng, one of the leading scorers. Turnaround jumper right in Wilson's face. It's a miss. Stewart shakes her defender, gets an open look. No, Wilson in the paint, kicks it. Fresh shot clock for Team USA. They're gonna wanna use it here, possibly to ensure they have control of this clock.
Pass.
Give and go, finisher, Han Shu. 2, easy for China. We're back within single digits. USA up by 9. This is the closest China has been in the second half to Team USA. A little high-low finish. Thomas can't, Stewart goes in.
Great hustle by Stewart.
Gray again to Wilson. This one gonna be called a foul.
That was just great hustle by Stewart in there and battling away, was able to kick it out, give her team another possession, and down to a 9-point game. Still heavily in the odds of Team USA, but the way China have been able to run the floor, and seen this a few times, the defensive transition of Team USA has been found wanting a little, and China been good enough to really push the tempo and take advantage of it.
Asia Wilson was one of the last Las Vegas aces to join the team. She came in last night after missing a connection. Can't tell by her free throws in her play,
well,
huh?
this is real pretty follow through, good extension, and nice free throw action. Oh.
Han Shu draws the trigger. No, Stewart covers the rebound. 90 ticks left in this contest. Copper back on the floor. A defensive presence for USA. Wilson going to work in the paint. Reverse on the right!
Beautiful.
She's got the last 4 for Team USA.
Well, she went to the left of the basket, and she could see that Han Shu was right there and did the right thing, and with a little reverse, the rim offered just a little bit of protection on that layup attempt.
Skip pass, quick shot by Li Meng. Yes! China staying in the conversation.
She stepped up, 21 points now in the game.
Wilson turns, spins, shoots, another foul.
I like it when they go in low. They're good, the entry pass. We have a look here. Here's that good ball movement. Brianna Stewart didn't do a whole lot wrong. She came just contested 3, and that's just a, it's feeling it.
Asia Wilson with 17 points in this contest. Right off the plane about, goodness, 20 hours ago, if that.
Yeah.
Lefty hits them both. Pushes the lead for Team USA.
Collectively, these teams are 20 from 21 from the free throw line. Great shooting, free throw shooting.
Li Meng being covered. Shakes Kalia Copper. short. Thomas gets the rebound.
Lee Martin got away with one man. Just pushed off with the right arm to get some separation. Goes unwhistled.
20 seconds to play, and this looks like Team USA will go ahead and be securing, yes, they will, their bid to the quarterfinal round.
Well, it is, but you want to play it out because there's ties, three-way ties, points difference can mean something too. So it's not like where you just politely play the games out in tournament play like these.
Final seconds on the ground, of course, covering the ball there, Jewel Lloyd. And the clock and time will expire. Team USA, high fives all around. They defeat China 77-63. Team USA unable